All right. What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Welcome back to another live. Hope all is well. This is like really part two of the post game reaction. And my question is, can this football team win with a pass first mentality in Power Five football? Um, I honestly think, I think people at this point, people that's I'm just speaking for myself, people that analyze and report on the football team, they need to be honest here. um they have a pass first mentality, and I don't know if you can win Power Five football effectively with a pass first mentality. Now, they do have a grade A passing game. They do. They have a grade A passing game. When Shador has protection, he can get it to the receivers, and the passing game is really not the problem. The problem is that's a they're a pass first mentality, and this comes down to the coaching. This doesn't come down to the players. This comes down to the scheme. It comes down to scheme and the game plan and the preparation for this. This comes down to the preparation. Um, I didn't see too many passes in the flat. And when they did pass to Hayden, he was effective. He picked up a lot of yards. When they did do that, it wasn't too many passes in the flat to the running backs. Because if it's not working up the middle, there's plenty of ways to get the running backs open and to get the running backs in the game so that you can keep the defense honest. If you're not going to keep the defense guessing, then the defense is going to figure you out very quickly. And the defense figured Colorado out very quickly in this game. Very quickly. They figured them out in the first quarter. They figured them out within the first few minutes of the first quarter. They figured them out. Um, because if you blitz and you rush the quarterback 85% of the time, at least 65% of the time or whatever, you got a high percentage of you're going to be right and you're going to meet the quarterback. Um, they have a very capable running back, and I saw flashes of it in number 7 when they passed it to him, and he picked up a lot of positive yards. But the problem is they have the mentality where just keep it in Shador's hands and good things will happen. Keep it in Shador's hands and throw it to Travis. That's not going to work really in this Power Five situation, because teams, they will just start attacking Shador and take him out of the game. If you take him out of the game, they're going to get behind early, and they're going to have to play catch up at that point. Now they really going to have to pass. At that point, they got everything figured out, and they're just going to blitz. And that's what we saw here. Nebraska, they didn't even do, as far as offensively wise, they didn't even do anything spectacular. They just played smash mouth football. They just ran the ball and made plays here and there. And they also got lucky on that, because Levante Bentley almost intercepted the ball and the receiver caught it. That wasn't on Levante Bentley. That wasn't his fault. He was in the right position and he was playing hard, and he did his thing. It just sometimes the ball bounces that way, and the receiver caught it. It was like a freak play. The receiver caught it and went into the end zone, and that was Rayola's only touchdown pass. Believe it or not, that was his only touchdown pass of the game. That was his only touchdown pass. And it was almost intercepted. So he didn't really have a spectacular game here. Um, he really didn't. He didn't have a spectacular game. Um, and the defense, in the second, as we know, the defense in the second, after halftime, that they fixed what the problem was, and they were able to hold them. You know, they were able to hold Nebraska at bay. Um, and I know people are saying that this is the best defensive line they're going to face all year. That's not true. You don't even have to face a great defensive line to beat Colorado at this point. You don't. You just have to blitz because they're a pass first mentality. And when you blitz, good things happen. And they're able to take Shador out of the game. And you got to put pressure on them. That's what the rest of the teams for the rest of the year, after seeing this game, that's what they're going to do. Until Colorado coaching changed their philosophy here, it's going to be the same result. And this Colorado State game is going to be a very tough game if they don't fix it. And it's a very easy fix. They have to have a balanced attack here. They have to run this ball, even though they saying they having problems running the ball. When they draft up that play for number 7 and threw it to him in the flat, he picked up a lot of positive yards. They got to do that. They got to start throwing in the flat. If you can't run it up the middle, throw it in the flat. This is fundamentally sound football that they're not playing. This is on the coaches. This is not the kids. This is a coaching error, and a lot of people don't want to be honest because they're gonna be viewed as haters. But the coaches should not get on the players here. If not, they're gonna lose this locker room. This wasn't on the this is not on the players here. This is on the whole game plan. And the players are following the game plan. And let's go to the stats again. And the stats don't lie. And I went back to the tape and looked at it. So let me just go to the stats. Because if they implement the running game, they're going to win more football games easily because their passing game is top notch. You got to look at the positive aspects of this game. The only thing they really have to do at this point is change their philosophy. That's pretty much it. And they'll get to a bowl game. They got to change their philosophy. If they don't change their philosophy, they're going to get the same results. And there's a lot of money being left on the table here because if they have the same results, that determines how people get drafted here. So they got to change. They have to go with the run. They have to implement their running backs. Whether, like, for example, let's say if they have a situation where Shador is in the shotgun. Okay, he's in the shotgun. He got 2 running backs on one in each side of him. They both running into the flat. He drops back and he has pressure. Now he has the option to throw in the flat. Now he has the option to throw in the flat to Hayden and burn them. Okay, they got to throw in the flat. Okay, and then maybe have one running back as a blocker. And that's a set that they can use. Also, if they're going to use one running back next to Shador, if he's not going to run it, they're going to have to set up a situation where they got short passes. And remember, this is a game of inches. They got to take this 5 yards at a time, or actually 10 yards at a time. If they take it 10 yards at a time and implement the running backs, guys, they're not gonna have any more problems for the rest of the year. They won't have any more problems for the rest of the year, folks. No more problems. But they have the same mentality that they had last year. Now, this is coming from up top. They're gonna have to have a serious meeting here, the coaches. Like, look, we got to change our mentality because in the difference between Power 5 football is the defensive linemen are bigger and faster. They will close that pocket ASAP. If they know that you're always passing, the offensive lineman can't block everybody. They're going to send multiple people in the backfield to blitz. And the offensive linemen, they're going to try to do all they can, and just the pocket is going to break down. Now, yesterday they did face a good defensive line, right? They did. However, with a good defensive line like that, you just have to throw in the flat. You just got to have, sometimes you got to have a formation where you have two running backs on either side of Shador. And now he's calling the blitz. He's now calling the blitz. So one of the running backs could either block or they both can go in the flat. So when the Shador drop back, he could just start smiling. Because if his wide receiver's not open and the defensive linemen are closing in, he just dump it off to Hayden in the flat and burn them. And I feel bad for the players because it's not their fault here that they lost. And people have to be honest here. Without feeling like people are going to label you a hater. This is on the coaches. It's not the players. They have great wide receivers that ball couldn't get to them because Shador was under duress. So they're going to have to make a decision here. If they're going to want to continue to be a pass first mentality, prepare for Shador to get hurt. Because this next game, they're going to be bringing the sauce to him. And it's also, this is going to be the same hostile crowd. It's not going to be 95,000 plus. And believe it or not, the crowd wasn't the problem. The crowd wasn't the problem. I know people say they seemed kind of shaky or whatever. No, they weren't. They were doing what they were told to do. And it didn't work. And I remember Coach Prime saying he just feel comfortable with the ball in Shador's hands. Sir, you can't win Power 5 football like this. You cannot. You have some linemen that are 300 pounds and can run. You have linemen that are close to 300 pounds and can literally chase that quarterback down. So it'll take pressure off of you guys if you throw in the flat. You only threw in the flat once. You only threw in the flat once. Listen, that flat was wide open. To Shador's right side, it was a sea of green space where Hayden could have just been right there like this. He could have been right there like this, and I guarantee you he would have picked up at least 5 yards, at least 5 to 10 yards, or at least 5 to 7 yards per carry. You guys got to go back to the running game. If you don't go back to the running game, somebody's getting ready to get hurt. It's a long season. This is a long, long, long season, and they're gearing after Shador. When they were hitting him yesterday, it wasn't all the sacks where he got hurt. It was the hit after the throw he was hurting him. They were putting the leather to him. So I know they're going to say, I know you coaches are saying to the players, like, which one of you want it? You got to look at yourself in the mirror. That's not it. That's not it, coaches. It's you. It is you. Because this interview right here proves it. I'm about to play this interview now. He said he'd rather have the ball in his hand because he can strike. No, sir. No. Them linebackers and safeties, they are going to blitz you next week. They're going to blitz you. They're going to blitz you. Now, Colorado State, they're licking their chops right now because they had the blueprint to beat you. Now they know, like, okay, all we got to do is get to them. That's pretty much all you got to do. And I saw a play where a sack came from Jordan Seaton's side. And it wasn't his fault because he had a man blocking, but he tried to go after the other person too. He tried. He blocked his man. And then he tried to switch over because he knew the sack was coming on Shador. He tried to push the guy off, but it was nothing he can do. They didn't have any max protection there. They had too many receivers out there, and they didn't have the tight end on that side. And it's nothing he can't block. He can't hold his man and then have a rusher coming. I mean, it's no way he can do it. Even on Rock's side, that wasn't Rock's fault either. So the coach is gonna have to sit down and change their philosophy because it looks like last year They might as well didn't change offensive coordinators. It looks the same. And I don't want to be labeled a hater here. I'm being honest with you guys. You guys have a really good offense and you're not using it effectively. I feel really bad for the kids, man. I feel really bad because they're gonna get reamed. The coach is gonna ream them, and it's not right. It's bad, man. This is really this is. I mean, you win football games and you lose football games, right? You win and lose some, but you don't beat yourself though. They beat themselves here. They made Nebraska defense look like grade A All Americans. They did. Now, don't get me wrong, Agent Zero on that defensive line, yes, he's an NFL player. And the other person too, Ty, whatever his name is. They're NFL players. They'll be in the NFL one day. We know this. However, Shador passing game could have ripped them apart. There's no way you can stop Shador if he got a running back in the flat. There's no way you're going to stop him. Because now he see the hit coming. All he got to do is do that. All he got to do is just pass it off in the flat, and you guys are burned. And then you're not going to rush him so much now. Now it can open up for the passing game for him to get to his weapons. It's very simple fix. It's a very simple fix. And I'm going to tell the coaches this. I don't care how number 7 practice, he needs to start. I don't care how he practiced. This man came from Ohio State. Yes, he's had grade A coaching already if he came from Ohio State. So you need to put him out there. He needs to start. And he needs to get most of the touches. Because when he ran, I saw it. I saw what he can do. If you guys don't have him starting, I don't know if y'all really want to win, yo. I don't know if y'all really want to win. Y'all got to start him. So hopefully somebody got to be honest here now. Somebody got to be honest on what they saw. Y'all beat yourselves, man. And here it is again. The players, not only did the players have to face that crowd yesterday, and they had to face their opponent, and they were battling their coaches on top of it. How can you win like that if you're battling your coaches? You can't win like that. Your coaches are in the way. They're in the way. Now, my question is, who idea was it to be just passing all the time? You cannot tell me a former NFL head coach drew up this right here. This man was in the NFL, man. You mean to tell me he can't draft up no plays in the flat? Even I know that. I think is he getting resistance? Is he scared to speak? What's going on, man? This is your reputation on the line. What you drew up was garbage yesterday. That was garbage. Them players, all I see from them little clips, them players are practicing their ass off. They're practicing their ass off, man. And they could have won the game. They trust me, this game, Nebraska, y'all know y'all skated. Y'all, we could Colorado could have won that yesterday. Y'all know that. Because Dylan Riola only had one touchdown pass, and that was just by the grace of God. By the grace of God, he got a touchdown pass. And it was Levante Bentley had the interception, but just things happen, and the guy caught it and went in the end zone. The defense shut him down in the second half. They skated. Listen, Colorado has such a high-powered offense. They could have came back from 21. They could have came back if they had settled down and went to the running game. They would have came back, because then it would have opened up for them receivers to be open. Because now the defense is saying, okay, if I rush Shador, only thing he gonna do is throw in the flat and burn us. Listen, they have such an offense where Shador doesn't even have to run. There's no way he has to run. All he got to do is throw it in the flat. because what they were doing was it was basic what they were doing. They were just rushing them and leaving the flat wide open. And then when you guys finally did throw to Hayden in the flat, he picked up positive yards, and it was hard for the defense to bring him down. It was hard for the defense to bring him down, man. I mean, if you guys have this mentality where we're just going to keep it in Two's hands and we're just going to make him and Travis do all the magic, y'all ain't going to get to a bowl game. That's 100. Y'all not going to do it. You guys, you saying that this is the only defensive line you're going to face all year? No, 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 no. You guys got a hard schedule. You guys got to go down to Florida to UCF. They can beat you if you don't change. Everybody saw the game and they know the game plan. They're like, okay, they're going to keep it in Two's hands. All we got to do is send the house at them. I had said this before the game. If it's a pass first mentality, all they have to do is send the house at them and the game is over. That's how it was last year. They have a high, listen, guys, they have such a high powered offense. Shador doesn't even have to run. He has runners. Even if you throw it to Charlie Arfindall in the flat, he gonna pick up positive yards. See, because all you got to do, right, is even if you don't play two running backs, just put a running back beside him. The running back doesn't even have to block. He don't, because now you bait him in. Now here come the rushers coming. The pocket is closing. He ain't even got to look. Just dump it in the flat. And then that rush will be over. They'll stop rushing like that. And now that'll take the pressure off your offensive line. And then run some of the plays up the middle. Even if you run a play up the middle or whatever and you get 3 yards, that's fine. So now you got 3 yards. If you run it again, you get 4 yards. That's 7. Now you open up for an easy passing game. You got to play the game 10 yards at a time. So that's fundamentally, I know that. I knew that from the basics. Y'all got to go back to the basics. You guys what you trying to do is let Shador just air it out. And the teams in the Power 5, their linemen are they're gonna figure it out and they're just gonna send the house at you. So but the positive thing I took away from this is they do have a high powered offense because they were able to score. Look, those kids never, those young men, excuse me, they never stopped playing. They weren't supposed to score another touchdown. And then Wester scored. Even through all the adversity with the coaches, because the players were battling the coaches. Even through all that adversity, they never stopped playing. And now they got to sit there in a meeting and hear the coaches ream them out now, knowing that it was their fault. But we got coaches that are too prideful to admit that it was their fault. Everybody know it was the coach's fault. Everybody know. Everybody that's real about it, they know that. Yeah, man. It's kind of sad for the players, man. It's kind of sad. Even Charlie can run that ball. He can run it. But you got to put them in the best position possible. If you know that you're having problems running up the middle, like, okay, cool. Now we about to burn you because you guys are rushing Shador. Shador getting ready to throw in the flat and burn y'all. Because if you, like, for example, if you throw in the flat or whatever, they're not going to rush him no more. They're going to throw blitzes every now and then, but it's going to be far in between. The blitzes are going to come far in between. And now he can relax now and now throw it to his receivers. You guys did it at Jackson State. You had 1,000-yard rusher in Savion. And then Shador still got off. So y'all can still do the same thing. You guys got to go back to the basics and when y'all were at Jackson State. You can't sit here and at this point, you lose another game, another 2 games, there's no Heisman Trophy winner for no one. No one. No one's going to win a Heisman Trophy. Not when Alabama is doing what they're doing. It's still see, there's still it's 2 games into the season and you guys can fix it. I can see if you guys were doing all the fundamentally right things and still lost the game. A loss is a loss. People lose. Look at Notre Dame. Notre Dame lost. You guys offense is so high powered. You guys got to set it up for the pass, not pass at will. You guys are passing at will. That's why you're losing. So, I mean, the coaches know that. The coaches know that they need a balanced attack. We're not telling the coaches anything that they already don't know. These coaches been in the NFL, guys. These coaches know that. But it's set up for Shador to just keep passing. The mentality is, I'd rather have it in my hands. No, sir. No. You can't have that mentality in the NFL. You will have a short career. No, sir. No, sir. No. In the NFL, think about what happened with Philly and see what Saquon Barkley did. You let me tell you guys, this is the crazy part. And I'm not trying to be funny here. If Saquon Barkley was on Colorado, he wouldn't have got no touches. Saquon Barkley wouldn't have got no touches. So it's the coaches. Saquon Barkley wouldn't have got no touches, man. He wouldn't have got no touches. But if I was Saquon Barkley, I would have been reaming them coaches out. Y'all would have had to kick me off the team. But y'all, yeah, you guys can have whoever running back you want, Edgerrin James. You can have anybody. Y'all not using them. You guys' mentality is we're just gonna go in the air and let Shador win it like that. See, I believe that this offense was designed to do that, and it's not working on the Power Five. It's not working. So all you got to do is change your offensive philosophy and your scheme, and you guys are going to have no problems. You guys are going to start blowing people out if you guys change it. You'll blow people out because if you rush your door, he's going to make you pay by throwing in the flat. He's going to make you pay, or you don't know when the running back is going to run. They're going to make you pay for sending a linebacker blitz. Man, they were sending 2 safety blitzes, man. They were sending 2 linebacker blitzes. Mm-mm. Okay, since you guys want to, okay, you might get sacked one time. Okay, you guys going to keep sending 2 linebackers. Okay. Charlie, you go on the left side. Hayden, you go on the right, and just get prepared for the ball to be thrown in the flat. You don't even got to call a play at that point. And wide receiver, just run your route. We just gonna make them pay now, and then they will stop that. They will stop that foolishness with all that blitzing. It's crazy. I was watching DNVR. They were mad, yo, because they saw it. It wasn't I forget the bigger gentleman. Not him. It was the smaller. I don't know their names. I hate to describe them like that. But the one that was wearing the hat on, he was pissed, yo, because he knew they weren't running it. He knew it's the same thing from last year. See, you can get that off on lower level teams, but once you start playing the real deal, you're not going to win. And Nebraska skated. Their quarterback only threw 1 touchdown, and by the grace of God, he got a touchdown pass. He was like moseying along out there. He was like kind of feeling himself. Like, dude, you think you had a good game? No, you didn't. That's not Patrick Mahomes like. But a win is a win, though. I give him that. A win is a win, and I give him this. He was calm under pressure. The fans don't bother him. He just feeling himself out there. He's like, And then he just walked all cool. You know, he missed the cool breeze. You know what I'm saying? He walking. He think he Patrick Mahomes, man. Nah, he got some tools like Patrick, but he ain't Patrick Mahomes, man. Not yet. Yeah, he did. Drop one between the safety and track. He did. And he wasn't afraid to throw at them. But Colorado, this was their game to win. If I'm telling you guys right now, if they change their philosophy, if they change their coaching philosophy, right, they're gonna mop the floor with Colorado State. They're going to mop the floor with them. But see, Colorado State, like, damn, all we got to do, okay, stop the run, and then they're gonna go resort to passing, and then we're gonna send linebackers his way because the offensive line can't block everybody. So we're just gonna send somebody his way, and that'll effectively take him out of the game. That's what they're thinking. But what they'll do is because the coaches, they're still going to be pass first mentality. So what they're going to do is they're going to change it up for short passes. That's what they're going to do. And this is a pass first mentality team, and you can't effectively get far in the Power Five that way. Even though people are using their running backs differently now, it's not a situation where you just have one running back that take the whole load. Running backs have to be receivers and everything else. They have to be blockers. They have to be receivers. Whatever the situation calls for. So that's how they have to use Hayden. You know, and like for example, if it's a situation where you guys ran Charlie the first play and then he got hit for negative yards, y'all can't give up. Okay, now we gonna go in the flat if it ain't working that way. I think he too small to be running him up the middle. Y'all got to run him in the flat to where, because he runs hard. Him and Hayden runs hard. They will pick up positive yards for you. And then keep doing it. If they keep blitzing, you keep doing it. And then I guarantee you the blitz will stop. Guarantee it. They'll blitz every now and then, but they won't do it as frequently. Y'all could have beat UCLA last year if y'all had did that. What UCLA did was just ridiculous. Them linemen was standing up the whole time. Imagine if they played Ohio State last night. They wouldn't have scored at all. And y'all got Caleb Downs just watching the quarterback. It wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't have worked, man. He would have been calling all types of blitzes for y'all. But y'all can win, though. Y'all just got to use y'all running backs effectively.
Right, you want to start?
Sure. Just in general, your overall thoughts of why it was so difficult for you guys to really get much going offensively inside against that defense.
They just came ready to play. Simple. They just came out there. They followed their game plan and what they was going to do, and they were successful.
How are you feeling physically after the hit you took late in the game?
Well, of course, coming after a game, of course you're going to feel a little banged up in certain areas, but other than that, there's nothing recovery and everything can't fix.
David, go ahead.
Shador, how would you kind of grade your play tonight, and how would you describe the mood of the team right now?
What was the score of the game? That's the grade, of course.
What about the mood of the team? How would you describe that?
I don't think nobody really laughs. We play around whenever they lose. So I think everybody, we're just gonna get back to the drawing board and watch the film and understand, what we gotta improve in.
Mike, go ahead.
So how big was the impact of the crowd here tonight at Memorial Stadium on the
All right, let me stop there. There's no watching film. The receivers did what they were supposed to do. They were running their routes. They were doing what they were supposed to do. And you guys couldn't get on the ball because you guys wouldn't run the ball. That's what happened. This is a very easy fix. You guys were not running the ball. Hold on. Let me go to the stats. Hold on 1 second. They were not running this ball now. Let's go. This. We don't have to watch film. Ain't no watching film going back to the drawing board. Dallin Hayden had 5 carries for 32. Look, Hayden had 5 carries. Augustov had 2. Charlie had 4. Ryan Staub had 3. Shador had 8 for negative 30 yards. But let's go back to Hayden and Arfendal and Augustov. They didn't even play the freshmen, but let's go to the 3 running backs. Let's see. Combined for 11 carries. That's why they lost the game, folks. The running backs combined for 11 carries. 11. And Nebraska didn't do no better. Nebraska didn't do no better. But they did a little better. Dante Dowdell had 17 carries. They did do better. Excuse me. 17 carries for 74 yards, 2 touchdowns. Remember, the quarterback only threw 1 touchdown, and he barely did that by the grace of God. But how did they win the game, though? They had a running game. 17 carries, 74 yards for 2 touchdowns. Ramir Johnson had 9 carries, 33 yards. And the rest of them had 2 and 3. But their main 2 running backs got the touches. That's how they won. They won old school way. There is no, you don't have to be super, you don't have to be a person that break down film to figure this out. If you played football before, let me tell y'all something real quick. If you played football in the high school level, you can figure this game out. You don't need to have played college. You don't need to be breaking down film or anything to know what happened here. All we have to do is go to the stats, and the stats tell the story. Dylan had 1 touchdown by the grace of God. Okay. And look, his yards were 185 yards, but he didn't really need 400 and 500 yards to win this game because they had a balanced attack. But even their balance, let me tell y'all something real quick. Their balanced attack sucked. You know what their saving grace was? Their defensive line. That's what their saving grace was, but their balanced attack sucked. Okay. Even though they did better, but they didn't do anything spectacular here. Colorado beat themselves here. All right. So let's go back. Shador threw 23 for 38, 244 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He did better than Riola. Let me see. Riola had 185, 1 touchdown. But the only difference between him and Riola was he had a supporting cast in his running backs. And the defensive line was just they made the defensive line look like all-stars. All you had to do was throw in the flat. And that would have ended that rush. Dylan Hayden, Ohio State. He had 5 carries, man. They abandoned the running game. That's what happened. A total of 11 carries is not enough. And even Dallin Hayden with 5 carries, he got 32 yards off 5 carries. He averaged 6.4 yards a carry. What is the problem? That's okay. He averaged 6.4 yards a carry. That means he can run. The stats don't lie. The stats do not lie here. They just have to give him a chance. And here's what the other stats are saying. Look at the receiving. Travis had 10 receptions for 110 yards. Will Shepherd, 3 receptions for 59 yards. He had 3 receptions for 59 yards. Imagine if he had got going. Hayden had 2 receptions for 27 yards. Jimmy Horn didn't get going because we were having some problems protecting the quarterback. But the story here, the stats are saying, well, we just gonna pass to Travis. Regardless, we just gonna pass to him. Cameron Silman Craig had a total of 11 tackles. McKinney had 7. He's a cornerback. He had 7 tackles. And Kyle Hill Green had 5 and 2 assists. Silman Craig had 11 tackles yet last night. He made up for it because Shiloh went out. And Shiloh, I think they say he had a broken arm. So that's unfortunate. He had 2 tackles. Yeah, that's pretty unfortunate right there. Let me see how many sacks they had. Somebody did get to him. No, they didn't credit them with any sacks. That's interesting. I thought they did sack Riola. Nope, they didn't get to him. They didn't sack him, but they did. But the defense did pretty well though. Yes, they did. The defense did really well in the second half. But the problem is, let's see how many sacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He got sacked 6 times. Shador got sacked 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's too much. He got sacked 6 times. So it's almost like last year now. Identical. They didn't use the running backs. Guys, the only job left for you guys now is to use the running backs effectively. Just use them. Why y'all don't want to use the running backs? I'm trying to figure this out now. Why can't you use them in the flat? Okay, you can't run them up the middle. Use them up the flat. Because the blitz is coming. Don't worry about the blitz. Shador could sit there and smile at the blitz, like Vic used to do. Because either he's gonna run it or he passes the Warwick Dunn. Either or. They weren't gonna get to him. Because I remember one time he going up, he was under center. Vic was so cold, he was under center. And the blitz was coming and he was smiling. And then he looked at Warwick Dunn, he said something, and he changed his position. And you already knew what was coming. The blitz came and Vic just flicked it. He flicked it to Warwick Dunn, and Warwick went for the touchdown. And guess what happened with the defense? They stopped rushing Vic. They stopped doing it. That's when Vic was still in Atlanta. And he did the same thing when he was in Philly. Because he used to like to run a lot. So what they used to do was they used to try to bring a containment type of blitz, or they like they did with Shador. He had a blitz coming from either side, and it was just they were trying to close in on him. He just flipped it off to his Deshaun or somebody in the flat and just burned them. And then it'll open up for the passing game. It does look like the offense from last year. Because I think the mentality is, look, just put the I don't care what plays y'all do, put it in Shador's hands. I think that's what's being said. So if that's what's being said, it's easy to beat you. Yeah, you guys gonna win some games. You're gonna play some teams like that might be lesser than you, like Colorado State. But listen, X that for Colorado State because they playing with emotion. They don't like you guys. So they're gonna come in, they're gonna bring all types of blitzes, and they're gonna try to beat you. Because only thing they're thinking is all you gotta do is send the house at them. But this can easily be fixed easily. But I don't think they want to they really don't like running it. They just want to just pass it, I guess. But what's going to happen is they're going to be sitting there talking to the players who wants it, who wants it in here. And the players, somebody need to stand up and say, do you want it? Who do you coaches want it? We did what we supposed to do. We ran our routes. What do y'all want us to do, man? What do y'all want us to do, man? Like, do y'all really want it? One of the players need to say, do y'all really? Travis need to stand up because he's not going to get kicked off the team. Travis need to stand up and say it. No, coaches, do y'all really want it? Because if a regular player stand up, he'll tell them to get the fuck out. So they're afraid to say something. So Travis, he would have to say it. He would have to stand up and say, do y'all really want it, man? You guys are not implementing a running game or nothing. Like, so what, like what do you, like, y'all brought a kid from Ohio State. He got all that coaching from Ohio State now. He don't got all that coaching from Ohio State and y'all just won't use him. Now all of a sudden he garbage. It'll be the same way with Saquon Barkley. If he was running with y'all, y'all wouldn't use Saquon Barkley. Y'all wouldn't use Warwick Dunn. Y'all wouldn't use Dave Maggett. Y'all wouldn't use nobody with this offense. Y'all ain't using no run. Look, y'all not using narrow running back. That's an old school. Y'all not using not narrow running back. What running back? We don't need a running back. That's what y'all are, man. Y'all crazy. Y'all need to go ahead and use these running backs and stop playing. Shoot, y'all better use them running backs, man. Before y'all get this man hurt. Just use the running back. Just use him. Please just use him in the flat. Please. Hayden picked up all them yards when y'all passed it to him. That man got busy. And guess what? All right, well, we don't want to. We want two to pass it. Oh my God. It was too late at that point. When y'all started using them, it was too late. So, but hopefully somebody had to be honest here, man. Because some people ain't gonna be. They're like, oh well, this and that. Nobody want to be honest because they don't want to be labeled a hater. Listen. I'm old, so I don't care if somebody labeled me a hater. I'm old as fuck. Okay, I'm old. Okay, I am an elder statesman. So I don't care. I'm gonna tell it like I see it. Y'all need to use these running backs effectively, and then y'all will be fine. Shador be sitting up there passing for 400 yards, man. He'll be having 400 yards a game because they can't sack him because they don't know he gonna throw it in the flat or not. And I guarantee you they would have stopped rushing him because they'd be like, damn, what are we gonna do now? Because he just burned us for 20 yards throwing to number 7 in the flat. So now they got to change they got to change up a little bit. They'll still try to blitz you, but they'll change up. They won't blitz as much. And then that will take pressure off Shador and the offensive line, and he'll be able to do his thing. And they'll be able to score at will at that point. But the coaches are in their way though. And I feel bad about that because now the players got to sit there and get reamed for no reason. They got to get reamed. They're gonna get reamed. Trust me, I know they get reamed for this. I know that he got sacked 6 times. I know that offensive line got a talking to. And they can't say nothing because they'll get kicked off the team. So that's the situation there. And they're just gonna have to survive and get through the season. And and they not even playing Tyler Johnson. I thought that he had an NFL, the way Buffton Prime described him, he's ready to go to the Jets. How come he not playing? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck, yo? Like the way they described him, I'm thinking he getting ready to go to the Jets, man. Like he has a NFL grade and a high PFF. Fuck the PFF. He ain't playing. So the PFF don't matter. And he got the size. He not playing, yo. You should have put him next to Agent Zero. That's who y'all should have put next to him. Let me see. Well, how big is let me see how big he is. Hold on 1 second. Because I would have put him on Agent Zero. Because Agent Zero was acting like he was what's that dude from the Chargers? Agent Zero was acting like he Warren Sapp out there. Hold up, let me see how big he is, yo. Let me see him. Is he 325? Tyler Johnson is 6'5", 325. He would have been on Agent Zero. Stop playing. Okay, so you want to sit up here, Mr. Zero, and do all this and doing all. Did you see what he was doing? He's sitting up here doing all these he thought he was Warren Sapp, dog. You know what Agent Zero was doing? He was watching that coaching from Warren Sapp, yo. He was watching it. And he said, you know what? Yeah, I mean that monster. But he was watching that coach and he's okay, let me do the swim move and let me do this. He was doing all of that. Who the fuck is that? Let me find out who is Agent Zero, man? Who the hell is number 0? That guy, and why is he even with the team? How come he didn't go to the NFL? Why is he even still there? Like, why is he even still there, man? The coach told you would have got drafted high if you left. Jesus Christ. I mean, did you see he doing all this? And I went back and watched, he's out there dancing. And his big ass was getting right there to the quarterback. No, Zelinkus, man, listen, I couldn't even guard Agent Zero. You have to put Tyler Johnson on him. Yeah, his name is Nash Hutmacher, whatever his name is, Nash. Oh my God. And then his partner, Ty something, he was another one. So they had 2 defensive linemen next to each other that are getting drafted in the first round. They had 2. What the fuck? But you know what I would have did? Okay, fine, Mr. Zero. I'm about to throw in the flat. So you keep doing what you're doing. Y'all getting burned all day. You can keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, Polar Bear and Rocks. Holy shit. Don't sit up there and get on Zelinkus. You see how that dude is built? You said vanilla gorilla and polar bear. Well, whatever you want to call them. I'm telling you, I'm like, what the fuck? What is going on here? They doing all type of swim moves and they were sitting up there watching Warren Sapp videos, yo. They were. You can't tell me they weren't. They were doing that last year against us. They did that last year, the same 2. I'm like, I thought they left. I'm like, I thought they went pro. What they back for? But they said they want to come back and try to win, try to turn this into a winning program. That's why they came back. Yeah, the refrigerator and the deep freezer. That's what I call them. That's some big boys right there. And I kind of feel bad, man. Like Shador is sitting there because he felt beat up, and it don't have to be that way. You got a bona fide quarterback, and you just got, man, you just get the running game. Even if you can't, because I understand what they're saying. If, okay, you run up the middle, we can't do it because you got Agent Zero there acting crazy. Well, throw in the flat then, and make his big ass run from east to west. That's what you do. So you gotta run away from them. You got to run away from the refrigerator and his boy, or the polar, what y'all call them, the vanilla polar, vanilla, whatever y'all call them. Yeah, run away from them. You said number 0 from Nebraska is a true corn husker from the 80s, 1968. Yeah, he is. I bet you he's from Nebraska, isn't he? I'm going to have to look. I bet you he's from Nebraska. I bet you he is. I'm going to tell you why. It's not that he holds on to the ball for too long. When he breaks back in the pocket, go back, just type in Colorado versus Nebraska and look at the highlights. It's that the pocket is breaking down so fast, he has to make a decision. It's easier said than done, playing quarterback. It's very easier said than done. It's a very hard thing to do when that pocket literally was closing in on him like this. It was closing in on him, so he has to make a decision. Okay, what do I do? Is anybody open? He's like going through his progressions, and the pocket is really closing down on him. So he got to decide, do he throw it away or somebody is open? So that's the problem. It's not really him. It's not really that he's holding on to the ball too long. He's not. He's not holding on to the ball too long. It's that the pocket is breaking down. I wish I could show y'all, but they're going to copyright me. That pocket was breaking down so damn bad. I mean, the damn he don't. Why is he? I mean, he should have went to the NFL, dog. There's no way he need to be there. But 0 was doing all these spin moves. He sees 0 coming at him, right? So 0 is just wiggling his way, coming at him, right? And then the other dude, whatever the other refrigerator is, he's coming at him too. And then you got a linebacker coming at him. You got a blitz coming. So now he's trying to figure out, okay, who's open? Okay, they boom, boom, they go Travis. And he tried to do it and he gets hit because he know he's going to get hit. So it's a very difficult situation for number 2. It's not that he's holding on to the ball. He's not holding on to the ball that long. He's not. And it was a mishap that he had because when he was in the end zone, when he threw that interception, I believe he was trying to throw it away. That's what I believe he was going to try to do. I believe he tried to throw it away, but it was too short. But I believe because when he was in the end zone, that pocket was closing like nobody's business. They were coming for him, and he knew he was getting ready to get hit. So he got the pressure. He got 300-pound linemen, like you said, looked like he from the 1980s, getting ready to hit him. So he got to figure out how he can get this ball out. The answer is go throwing into the flat. That's the answer. So you gotta embarrass them. Okay, now we don't beat you for 15 yards now. We don't beat you for 15 yards, and I guarantee you they're not gonna be throwing that blitz like that. You will still have a problem with number 0 and the other dude, but that's not gonna. It's gonna be fine. Watch, I guarantee you they throw in the flat next week. They're gonna be fine. And then that will take pressure off Shador because they're not going to blitz as much, and then he'll be able to make the right decision. I mean, imagine you got 300-pound people closing in on you. You're gonna be freezing a lot. You're gonna be freezing too. I'm like, Lord have mercy. Here they come. Here they come. And the offensive line, they trying to do the best they can. You know what I'm saying? So that's what happened. He ain't holding on to the ball too long. He ain't holding on to the ball. It's just it's the scheme they're using. They play Colorado State. They play Colorado State next week at Colorado State. You said they need a real tight. They do have a tight end. They do. You see how big Savell Smalls is? They do have a tight. He won in the game at that time because they had all them wide receivers. And do you see all them wide receivers lined up to each other? They had 3 lined up next to each other like this. They all lined up. It was 3 of them and one on one side. So they got 4 receivers out there. That's why. And then they ain't have no running back in the backfield. And you talking about he holding on to the ball too long. No, he's not. they throwing the house at him. So he's like, oh shit. Like what, you know what I'm saying? He like, but don't get me wrong, he's still a cold piece of work now. Don't get me wrong, because if you open, he gonna rifle it. He gonna rifle it to you, but he know he getting ready to get hit. And that's what I'm worried about, because I don't want him to get hit in his lower extremities or something and he out, and that's his career. He ain't holding on to the ball too long. Go look at the game again. How you feel if you got to see a Cornhuskers coming at you and the damn thing and the pocket closing down? How you feel? Ain't no tight end to block. Ain't no running back in the backfield. And you can't run this way because there's a Cornhusker right there. You can't run this way. There's another Cornhusker. You can't come up to the middle because you got the refrigerator right there. So his only option is to throw it away, or he trying to make something happen because he know one of his receivers getting ready to get open. That's why he's holding it, because he knows somebody getting ready to get open. He's not holding the ball too long. It's just a scheme they're using. I'm telling you, that's what it is. It's the play calling. And him and Coach Prime said the same thing. Look, I'd rather keep the ball in Tu's hand. No, you gotta mix it up. But when the game is out of reach, then yes, they do have to keep passing. So that's not it's not their fault. They had to, it's just they got to play catch up. But when they got down by 2 scores, I believe they vacated the run. They didn't want to do it anymore. And that's what happened. They could have still ran and came back because the defense was starting to do their thing. Very easy fix, in my opinion. And you don't have to be an analyst or an expert to see this. You just have to have played ball before and know the fundamentals. Come on, man. You got Hayden, man. Ohio State. If you can have 100-yard game and play for Ohio State, that means you got to be some type of good. At least let them run. Now, don't get me wrong, Ohio State had a lot of running backs, so it's hard to run up there. But they throw in the flat. Throw in the flat. Because if they rush and then you got that person in the flat wide open. You got them wide open. They didn't even do any like play action fakes. They didn't even do no motion to wide receiver. You know how the wide receiver in motion? They didn't do none of that. It would just drop back and pass it. Drop back and pass. Nah, man. But but it's salvageable though. Because all they got to do is make a couple of adjustments and they should be fine. Yep. But I don't want people that cover this, like analysts, to be knocking the players. It's not the players. It's the coaches. But nobody's gonna say that. Ain't nobody, because then you're gonna be looked like a hater. They're gonna call you a hater. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna call you a hater, and then like that. And some of these guys played football before. They played in college. They know what they listen to me. They know what the fucking problem is. They not saying it. And they played in college. They know what the problem is, but they're not gonna say it. It's the coaching. It's the scheme. The players don't come up with the scheme. When Shador looks at the sidelines, he's looking for the play. Okay, cool. That's the play. Okay, give me a plan B and C for the audible. Okay, cool. I got you. You think that kid want to sit up there and get beat up? No. He got a whole career ahead of him. Now, when he gets to the NFL, it'll be different because they're not gonna pull that in the NFL. Like, you're gonna be using your running backs. So he'll be straight when he gets to the NFL, but he just gotta make it there. He gotta make it there. Lord have mercy. Yeah, it's a minor adjustment. It's a minor adjustment they gotta make. and it worked yesterday, but it was too late. You saw when they threw that pass to Hayden and what Hayden do. They could barely bring his ass down. Nebraska they was so damn garbage they couldn't even bring him down, yo. Their saving grace on that team is Agent Zero and that other guy, Ty, whatever his name is. Hold up, let me just. I'm not giving him any justice. What the hell is his name? Tom? No, it's Nash Hutmacher. Nash Hutmacher, and he got a sack yesterday. So it's Nash Hutmacher and Ty Robinson. That's who I'm talking about. Is Nash Hutmacher and Ty Robinson. Those are the saving grace of that team. They didn't play that well, yo. They didn't. Like their quarterback got one throw, and he lucky it didn't get intercepted because it almost got intercepted. He didn't do all that well. I'm thinking, damn, they said he the next Patrick Mahomes and shit. And he got the haircut and everything. I'm like, yo, Colorado getting ready to get blown the fuck out. Like, because they didn't change their scheme, and they said that this dude is like Patrick Mahomes. I said, oh Lord, we got a Patrick Mahomes out there. He looked like him. He ain't playing like him. See, I'm being honest. He ain't playing like no Patrick Mahomes yesterday. He didn't. He ain't play like no Patrick Mahomes. So I just want to tell Nebraska that he wasn't Patrick Mahomes-esque yesterday. He lucky it didn't get intercepted because Bentley almost got it. And it wasn't Bentley's fault. It's just sometimes that's the way the ball bounced sometimes. And then the receiver, that was good. He was right there and he caught it. And it was a touchdown. It was a touchdown. So that's just what it is. But I'm telling you. You said you realizing that YouTube career is nearing end. You talk about something else. YouTube career is not coming to an end. It's like, it's a lot of content out there. No, yeah, I mean, so don't get me wrong. There's some signs there like Patrick Mahomes, but he a freshman. He got to grow into it. But he didn't do much yesterday. He just had them running backs, and Colorado wouldn't use their running backs effectively. So that's just what it was. But I knew what Colorado wanted to do. They wanted to come out and pull that trigger, and they wanted to sit there and have an air raid. I knew that's what they wanted to do. But Matt Rule was like, well, we're going to blitz the hell out of you. Watch. And I said it too. I said, they're going to throw the house at this kid. And that's what they did. They threw the house at him, man. They threw the house at the kid. So the next game, I guarantee you, the next game, they're going to use the running backs. I guarantee they're going to be throwing in the flat watch. They're going to use all types of plays next week. They got to. They're going to do it. Yeah, but they didn't. Let me see what else Shador was saying.
Do you guys have a deal tonight?
On who?
On you, in terms of your performance playing, obviously last year you played at Folsom. You have one of the loudest and greatest, crowd performances out there. Versus you're coming here, you're having over 100,000, I believe, fans.
Yeah, I don't really think the crowd had anything. I think
the crowd didn't matter to him. It wasn't the crowd. That wasn't it. The crowd didn't matter, man. As long as he got the play and he knew what he was doing, the crowd didn't matter. That wasn't the problem. It's just that they were predictable. That was the problem. They were predictable. Let me just tell y'all this. What do you think they're going to do? They don't have no running backs in the backfield, right? They got all receivers lined up. What do you think they getting ready to do? They getting ready to pass it. So what they did, what Nebraska did, they took a chance and sent all these rushers at them. That's what happened. So it wasn't like it's just crazy, man. They just got to make one small adjustment, and they'll be fine. And use them running backs all type of ways. I mean, throw it to them in the flat, have them blocking. I mean, not the blocking. Just throw. I mean, really, that's the adjustment. Throw it to them in the flat. That's it.
It was just like maybe everybody on the team, maybe we just wasn't ready, But overall, I don't think the crowd kind of like affected me personally.
So, follow up here. How do you think the loss today is going to impact your performance against CSU, which obviously last year you beat Nebraska by a fair amount. CSU was a very tight win. How does this loss today impact your performance going into next week?
Really just get back to the drawing board, understand what we're wrong, understand that they're going to try to expose those same things that happened. So we just get back and try to fix those problems that was going on and be ready for the game.
Thank you.
Shador, a lot has changed with the offense, right? You got a new scheme, new linemen. Does it feel like you're still dealing with some of the same issues as an offense that you guys dealt with last year at all?
I'm not sure. I ain't watched the film.
You see, okay. You see how they snuck the question, and you see how he smiled? That was his answer. He gave him the answer. He said, yeah, it's the same shit. He just smiled. You see how he smiled? That was the answer. He knew it was coming. He knew that answer was coming. Shador is smart. He knew the answer was coming. He said, yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. I like how he smiled there. But they're going to have to run the running backs effectively. He knows it.
I'm not sure. I ain't watched the film yet.
But just in,
I'm not sure. I ain't watched the film.
and does it feel like you're still dealing with some of the same issues
Look at his
as an
face.
offense that you guys dealt with last year at all?
I'm not sure. I ain't watched the film yet.
See?
But just in general, I mean, does it feel like, it's just a constant pressure in your face? What does it look like from your eyes back there?
Well, I mean, I could feel like feelings and everything is like temporary, So it's like, and a lot of emotions and stuff going into it. So I want to be able to look at everything first before I have a true assessment of like, how I really feel.
The last thing, you said maybe you weren't ready. You didn't feel unprepared heading into this game, right?
No, what I'm saying is, okay, you got to understand, you get out there and everybody, you prepare, you do everything the right way, how you're supposed to, but you got to make sure everybody, is on that when the big lights and everything come on, and, like the small mistakes and everything may expose some things. So that's what I mean by that.
3 more, Nick.
But the preparation and everything, that was there. It was just like will at that point.
What were your conversations like with Pat Shermer, and why do you feel like the offense wasn't able to respond against Nebraska's defense?
I mean, Nebraska got a great D-line. Simply, that's what it was. I don't think I think they did. I think they followed a great game plan, and they did what they're supposed to do.
Scott,
So that was it.
Shador, how important do you think it is for this offense to continue to, develop, a running game and continue to be balanced and, try to be more balanced? How do you think that can kind of help, your game and obviously this offense as a whole?
I mean, how many times did Rowley get touched?
You said what?
How many times did Rowley get touched? There was able, like, of course, whenever you're able to run the ball consistently, and whenever you're able to
Stop. See, there's the problem. They have a mentality where they don't want to run the ball. But, sir, when you get to the NFL, you're running that ball. I'm just telling you that. It ain't going to be no you passing, you running that ball. If you got a Saquon Barkley in the backfield, sir, you're passing to Saquon Barkley. Yes, you are. And that's the problem. See, that's the mentality. All you got to do is just pay attention. They don't care about running the ball. They don't care. But they're going to learn one way or the other. Because the Power 5 is not like where you were at Jackson State now. What did Shiloh Sanders say? The difference between that and the Power 5. He said the linemen are bigger and faster. That's what he said because he played at South Carolina. Remember, he was a Gamecock. So he played in the Power 5 before he went to Jackson State. He said the skill position are the same. The only difference is the defensive line. They don't get it. They don't get that, man. And watch what he say at the end. Come on, Shador, you know better now.
They was able, like, of course, whenever you're able to run the ball consistently and whenever you're able to, then that opens up the pass, you know? But it's just like you got to understand, like, what.
Yeah, but see, Shador, you taking up for the coaches. Listen, you guys only threw in the flat once. And all you had to do is throw in the flat. It's real easy. If you got the running back to your side and he going to the flat and they're throwing the house at you, just flip it off to the flat and have him let him get sick with it. Y'all didn't do that. You guys ran it right, and then he got negative yards, and then like, okay, it's not working. I mean, what do y'all expect? Barry Sanders? Y'all don't have a Barry Sanders. You have to make it work. You have to go in the flat. You got to change it up, do different things. You guys are one dimensional, and you guys know y'all can change it. You guys can change this to save this season. You can change it. It's early in the season, only the second game. You guys just got to make that one adjustment and get these running backs going. They got to get their touches, fam. They even if a running back get negative yardage, you cannot give up on them. You cannot give up on them, man. I've seen Saquon Barkley get tackled and he only made 2 yards. The Eagles didn't give up on him. And guess what happened? He had a hell of a game, didn't he? You cannot give up on the running backs. You guys are giving up. This is so easy to fix, man. It's crazy.
What your team good at. So it's like, why would we keep running the ball if, okay, we out there and we get in a situation where it's a must get and we don't get it?
Are those like kind of like 4th and 1?
But you might get it the next time. You got to give the running backs time to want you. They might get it the next time. You have to keep with the run so that you can keep the defense guessing. You have to keep. It's fundamental football. You have to. Okay, so that didn't work. Guys, throw it in the flat, please. Please throw it in the flat. Please. Just throw it in the flat. And you did it yesterday in Hayden at the end of the game. He picked up so many yards, it was hard for them to tackle him down.
Versions that haven't gone your guys' way in the last couple of, is that kind of playing into everybody's mind? Is that kind of someone your mind when thinking about, advancing the ball and whatnot?
See, he knows this, but the thing is, he's not the play caller. He don't come up with the schemes. So I can't blame Shador. He doesn't come up with the schemes. So it's not on him.
Nah, I'd rather, if we're going to go down, I'd rather go down swinging, honestly, because I know I can throw the best punch.
See, there it is. There it is. He said it. He said he'd rather go down swinging because he know he can throw the best punch. There it is. So he's down with it. They don't want to run that ball like that. There it is right there. He said it. He said if they rather go down throwing, they rather go. It's so easy now. Now here's the thing. I don't know who's gonna win the next game. I don't know. Colorado State might beat them. I don't know who's gonna win because all you got to do is throw the house at him. That's it. That's all you got to do. You don't have to do nothing spectacular. You just have to throw an all-out blitz his way. They're not gonna pick up. They're not gonna pick up everybody on that blitz. And you got to put pressure on them. That's the key to beating them. Easy. Coach, man, y'all should know better, man. When you was at Florida State, y'all had running backs, man. Y'all should know better. They should know better, man. They should know this. They don't want to do it. I think it's geared up to make him have the best stats possible, man. And I'm being honest with you, man. That's what it is, man. Because it don't make no sense that you can't throw in the flat. And I know what you guys saying. Why you keep saying throw in the flat? Because that's how you beat the blitz. That's how you beat the blitz. Either you throw quick routes, like with your wide receivers, like you throw a quick route to your wide receiver, or you have running backs in the flat. And I'm telling you, they're going to stop that blitz. I'm telling you they are. It's fundamental football. And I don't have to have played in college to know that. So I don't know what's going to happen with their season. I don't know what's going to happen, man. They're going to have to, but the thing is, to save face, they're going to have to run. Because they know in power. Shiloh can tell them because he played with the Gamecocks. And he had an interview one time and he said the only difference is the defensive linemen are faster and bigger. And guess what they faced yesterday? They faced bigger and faster defensive linemen. And guess what happened? They faced the same ones last year. And I'm gonna tell you something. They could have won that game with Jeff Sims yesterday. That freshman, he didn't do much yesterday. Jeff Sims could have won that game. He's more mobile. The other kid can spin it, but he didn't do nothing spectacular yesterday. He did not. This is not a win. A win is a win. Don't get me wrong, but his defense won that for him. Unbelievable, man. He said he'd rather, at the end of the day, he can throw the best punch. Shador, you're not going to throw the best punch, and you got all these blitzes coming at you. You're not going to throw the best. They're going to throw the house on them next week. That's what's going to happen. Oh my God. I feel sorry for these players, man. I really do, because they battling the coaches. I know everybody thought Shannon thought he was being a hater. Shannon Sharp ain't being a hater. He being honest. And he said it yesterday. Somebody has to be honest with time. He called prime time. They call him prime time, but instead of him saying everybody, because he said everybody call him prime, he rather call him time. He said somebody got to be honest here. And nobody is being, I think he has people in that room that are afraid to be honest with him. Like, sir, we're not going to win if we ain't got no running game. And we can't make this honest. And no, just put it in Tu's hand. That's what he said before. He said, I just feel comfortable putting it in Tu's hand. You're not going to win like that, sir. You're not going to win, which makes me feel like he ain't going to be there next year. It's crazy, man. I'm being honest. Y'all could have won this game, man. Y'all got Nebraska thinking they the best shit since sliced bread now. They barely won this game. Barely. You guys don't do no huddles. Y'all do nothing like that. How come y'all don't do huddles? Y'all don't do no huddles. Y'all don't break in a huddle. I know that's old school. A lot of teams don't do that no more. But I don't like to see that. They still do it in the NFL though. Even they kind of vacated that in the NFL too. They don't really do it. But some team do huddles. Michael Penix and them did huddles last year. Because you never know. Like, you can make adjustments in the huddle. Like, all right, I need you to do, stay on that linebacker because he coming. Like that. But I don't know, man. I'm not disappointed. It's just it's all in what the coaches want. So if they want to run their offense like that, I'm here to tell you in the Power 5 it's not working. And you guys, you think you fake, man. It's not. Wait till y'all face Utah, yo. Y'all gonna get embarrassed. Y'all not doing that against Utah. I'm just telling you. Y'all not doing it against Kansas State. You're not doing it against UCF. You're not doing it against Kansas State. Y'all not doing that. Y'all gonna have to keep it. Y'all got to keep it balanced. And I'm keeping it 100. I'm keeping it all the way 100, man. Y'all gonna have. How hard is it to throw in the flat, man? Imagine if y'all had still had Dylan. Imagine throwing the Dylan in the flat. How fast he is. That's what Kansas State doing with him. And didn't he score his last game? He sure did. They using him effectively. So now you know it's the coaches. How is he going to Kansas State and he's sitting up there scoring and starting? How is that happening? He's only a sophomore. But no, they got him, they using his speed effectively. They using him how they gotta use him. They don't use him every play, but they use him when they need him. And he scored. That's crazy, man. Y'all can't win being one dimensional. Not in the Power Five. Nope. And you guys weren't one dimensional at Jackson State. You had 1,000-yard rusher in Savion. You guys were not one dimensional. Why y'all being one dimensional here? And you were not one dimensional in Jackson State. Now this is what they might say now. They might say that we don't have an offensive line, fam. We don't. Well, throw in the flat then. If you can't run the running backs up the middle, throw it in the flat. Or this is what you do. For the next 3 plays, do all passing plays. Okay? And let them sack you. And then the next play, they're gonna throw the house at you again, throw it in the flat and burn them. I guarantee you they'll stop blitzing you. Well, they won't blitz you as much. So that's it. You said stop, man. Nebraska. No, they did not take their foot off the gas. They played horribly. I mean, they didn't play horribly, but they did enough to win. And it wasn't impressive to me. I'm sorry. They didn't have no max protect. They had all them receivers on the field. You saw them line up. They had a lot of receivers lined up. There was no tight end. They had the tight end out there a little bit. They had Savell Smalls and they had the kid from Ohio State. I'm not on a bandwagon. You said bandwagon jumpers don't know names. Who you talking? You talking to me? I just saw your comment. You talking to me? What are you talking about? I do know names. I just said that. What are you talking about? Bandwagon jumpers. Ain't nobody. I'm keeping it 100 though. I always keep it 100 over here. Always. I always keep it 100. I said it last year that the coaches were in the way. I said it last year, and people called me a hater. So and then they went back to man, people they were calling me such a hater. You said the guy who said Dylan. We all know who Dylan is, man. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, I was talking about Dylan Edwards. I thought people knew who I was talking about. He's at Kansas State. Yeah, we all know who Dylan. Like, why is he saying what Dylan you talking about? I mean, I thought everybody knew. I'm just saying they use him. They don't use him. They use him in certain plays for his for his speed, and he was able to score. Like, they use him effectively. They don't got to use him every play. Just use him when certain plays. He's not an every down back. That's what I was trying to say. Because I looked at the film, I was like, okay, they could have ran the ball. Like I know what it is. Like when a running back gets stopped on a key play and they lose the possession, they get discouraged and they don't want to go back to the run. They have to go back to the run. They have no other choice. They got to go back to the run. Like they can, like I said, they can do different things to get the running back involved. You know, flat passes, different things like that. To get them going. I believe Hayden, you can also use him as a receiver in short routes. So that's it, man. That's the story of the game. They're one dimensional, and it's easy to beat them that way. You said Dylan could set up mismatch. Yeah, in certain situations, they could change up and use them a certain way. But I think the thing is, it's pass first mentality. They don't care about they care about passing. And what's going to happen is the teams are just going to blitz him, and they're going to hope for the best. They're going to hope that he get that ball out of his hand. They're going to hope that they get the ball out of his hand, right, and pick up and big play. That's not happening. That's not going to happen every week. I heard somebody say, "Well, that's the best defensive line they're going to play all year." Huh? Let me go to their schedule. Boy, these people something else. Like that's what? Listen, they have Colorado State next. So you would think they will win that game, right? They got Baylor. They got UCF. That's a tough game. The way they playing, that's going to be tough. All these games are going to be tough now because they're one dimensional. Kansas State, that's going to be a very tough game. Arizona's going to be tough. Utah's going to be tough. Kansas is going to be tough. Oklahoma State going to be tough. So listen, I'm here to tell you, Arizona has hold on one second. UCF has a decent line. Kansas State has a decent line. Utah has a decent line. Kansas has a decent line. Oklahoma State has a decent line. This is going to be a long season if they're going to be one dimensional. Okay, this is going to be this is going to be a very long season because they're going to blitz them. So they have no so basically the crazy thing is they only have to make one tweak to their offense. That's it. Their offense is high powered. They just got to make one tweak to protect the quarterback. Just one tweak. That's it. And that one tweak is the coaches got to change their philosophy. That's it. They don't trust the ball in the receivers, the running back's hands. They want the glory to be on the quarterback. And I'm keeping it 100 with you. That's the philosophy here. They want the glory to be on him. Okay? And then if all fails, pass it to Travis. That is the philosophy. And I'm being honest with you. I'm being 100. I'm being 100. They not gonna like me after this. I already know that. But I'm close to 50 years old, man. I keep it 100. I come from the I come from the. I don't. When I was growing up, we didn't have a participation trophy. When I was growing up, we told you to your face you suck. Okay, so that's the mentality. I'm Generation X. I come from that. Okay, I come from that, and I tell it like I see it. They're one dimensional. I just named off all the schools that they're gonna have a problem against. They're gonna have a problem against UCF in Florida. They're gonna have a problem. But they have one little tweak to make. Use your running backs effectively, and guys, they are now in a bowl game. They are now in a bowl game. I know. I don't give a fuck if you think I'm sounding like a hate and I'm almost 50. I don't know about I mean, you could take it like that, but no, you're not gonna win the Heisman like that. But thank you for the donation. No, you're not winning the Heisman like that. Not getting sacked like that. You're not winning the Heisman. And that's what it is. But there's only one tweak they gotta make. Because you gotta understand they're 1-1, right? So the season is just getting started. They gotta make one tweak to be 11-1. Excuse me. 11 and they can still be 11-1 with this offense. But they got to make a coaching tweak. The coaching has to change their philosophy. And when they do that, they could possibly be 11-1 or 11-2, because I don't know, Utah is kind of tough, give or take, but they can beat Utah. They got high-powered receivers. Remember, Travis is still out there. So, and I like how the defense is coming together now, because you got to look at this. The defense is coming together. Okay. So they got that going on. They just got to tweak the offense. Just one little major, minor tweak, and they'd be ready to go. They'd be ready to make a run. But the philosophy is to make sure that he has the glory, and you can't win like that. You can't win like that. You can't just put it in his hands and think you're gonna win the game, because it's very easy to beat him now. All you got to do is throw an all-out blitz early. You can do it early, and that's it. The game is over. They could have beat USC last year. They could have beat USC. They could have beat a lot of teams last year. They could have beat UCLA. The only team, okay, you might argue and say they couldn't beat Oregon. But yeah, they can beat a lot of teams this year if they just the coaches got to sit down and let Sherman do his thing. Like, listen, we're gonna have a balanced attack to win this game. We're gonna have a balanced attack, and we don't care who the man is that's gonna win this game. Once they have a team philosophy, they're now 11-1. If they work as a team in a unit. They can't work as just two people. Two people are not going to win the game for you. Travis and Shador is not winning the game for you. It's not. They're not going to win. They're going to get these kids hurt. Okay? They're not winning. Two people cannot win the game for you. Not with these teams I just named. You got to play a team. This is an ultimate team sport. This is not an individual sport. So it don't matter like how good the stats of Travis is. If he on a losing team, he ain't winning no Heisman. They're gonna give it to what's his name from they either gonna give it to Milroe or they're gonna give it to the dude from Ole Miss. I'm just telling y'all that. I'm being honest with you. They're not gonna give it to them, and you don't have a winning season. They're giving it to Milroe, or they're giving it to the dude Jackson Dart from Ole Miss. They're gonna give it to one of them. So, but they could be in the running for the Heisman if they have a winning season and change this philosophy around. Because he just said it. I'd rather have the ball in my hand because I can throw the best punch. No, sir. No. You have to pay. You have to look at the team because y'all getting ready to lose that locker room again. Y'all getting ready to lose it because they lost it last year. They lost that locker room, and you can lose it again this year. So now we know it's the coaches that have to change. It's the coaching philosophy. They got to change. It's not the players. Shador don't call the plays. He just trying not to throw nobody under the bus. So, and I'm glad he didn't get hurt. Did you see how he got hit upside his head? And you see how slowly he got. That man had a concussion, man. I hope he didn't. I hope he didn't have a concussion. But it's they said they need to take him in the back for him to get worked on. So, yeah, you don't want to keep letting him get hit like that. I'm glad they did take him out the game because at that point, just take him out. So, but hopefully that's it. This dude is a bot. Hold on one second. They send bots my way too. Hold on one second. Let me get rid of, oops. Yeah, that's he's not a bot, but I call them bots. Yeah, you a bot because ain't nobody hating. Yeah, ain't nobody hating. We just know that they only got to make a few tweaks. Actually, one tweak. You can, some people say, well, damn, why is Charlie out there? You can use Charlie. You can use Charlie Orfendahl in the flat and be effective with him and be effective with Hayden. It don't matter. Like these, if you go back and look at the game, they were blitzing, right? And they were leaving gaps wide open because they knew they were going to get the Shador. So all he had to do was just throw in those gaps and they would have been burned. They would have been toast. And I guarantee you, Nebraska wouldn't have known how to adjust to that. And they would have lost the game. Because you saw when LeJontay caught the touchdown, they didn't have an answer for that. When he caught that touchdown, they can't guard him. And they can't guard Travis. They can't guard him. But you just have to open it up so that you can open up that pass and play and then use Shador effectively. So it's not fair to have that man running for his life like that. It's not fair. It's not fair because he got to make it to the draft. God damn. Like he got to make it there. I know he glad this is his last season. He just got to make it to the finish line at this point because they're battling the coaches. That's what they're battling. So these kids just got to make it to the finish line. And that's it. And then he'll be fine. He'll be safe in the NFL because he's not going to be one-dimensional in the NFL. He'll be safe there. Here is one-dimensional. They won't use the running backs whatsoever. That's what happened last year. They wouldn't use the running backs. I mean, they used Dylan. They did. They used the kid that went on to Hankerson. They did use him. But it was more so a pass first mentality. So that mentality has to change and they're gonna win ball games. And that's it, man. That's it in a nutshell. I know you beat us on a bad offensive night. I know. It was a bad offensive night for Nebraska, but they used other things. They used their defense and the running. But trust me, Matt Rule is not impressed by that game. But he'll take the victory. But yeah, he knew that they got some work to do. Like, damn. Henry, you want me to take a poll? Like, what do you want me to do? No, you know what I am? I like watching football. That's what I like. And I watched enough football and played enough to know the fundamentals of it. So we don't have no stands here. This is not a stand channel, sir. It's not a stand channel. We just keep it 100 over here. But you know the crazy thing? Everybody keeping it 100 now. I saw the DNVR. That dude was mad. He was like, damn, man, we just couldn't get the run. We couldn't get it going. No, you could have got it going. I bet you next week they're going to start throwing in the flat and going crazy. And then I'll shut up. I promise you I'll shut up. If they do that, I'm going to shut up. I won't have nothing. Actually, I ain't going to have nothing else to say. I'm just going to enjoy the rest of the season. And one thing I do appreciate, though, that it gave us something to watch because I wasn't really into football no more. I'm not going to lie to you. But at least I get, watch Colorado like in this moment in time. It was exciting. Leading up to the game was very exciting. But the kids deserve better, man. I honestly think they could have won that game if they were more implementing the running game and doing different things. But the guys played their heart out. So I give them that. That's a bright spot. The defense never gave up. They never gave up. And hopefully Chidozie is okay. And a few others. And I think Travis was feeling it too. They were working on his leg. So hopefully they were working near his Achilles area. So hopefully he's okay there. Hopefully Shiloh is not too bad, even though they said he broke his arm. That's unfortunate, man. Like that was early on in the game. He went out. I thought he did something, like because they took his helmet. I was like, broke his arm. The fuck? He played hard, man. It's a dangerous sport. They deserve to go to a bowl game, man. This is a bowl eligible team. That's how talented they are. But I just hope that the coaches come on. I just hope that the coaches change their philosophy to get them to a bowl game. So because right now it's just give it to Shador and have him pass it. That's the mentality. And you're not gonna win like that, man. It's just unfortunate. Yep, it's unfortunate, man. But hopefully they change. They got a really good team too. They got a really good team. That defense did not give up, yo. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. Trevor Woods, that's a dog, yo. That's that, yo. He making me look at him different. That dude right there, that's a killer. And it's unfortunate, I think the momentum carried his helmet into that guy's helmet. I don't think he meant to do it. It was just the momentum of it. But he laid a smack on that dude, man. I just saw him like how he was standing on the sidelines with the hoodie on. That's a killer, yo. He'll be back. He'll be back. He got to sit out a little bit the first game, but he'll be back. But yeah, that they got some killers on that team, man. They got some bona fide players on that team. I like what's his name too. The linebacker that came from Jeremiah Brown. That's another one. I like him too. And Levante Bentley, man, he did really well. Levante Bentley, and they brought in finally Anquin Barnes got in the game. So yeah, man, it's Chidozie, he played hard. They got a really good team, man. Really good team. BJ Green, yeah, bro. BJ Green is relentless. Yeah, they do culture. They do have a really good team. And that's Shador knows it. But he don't draw up the scheme. He don't. I know people say, no, he do draw. No, he do not. He don't draw up the scheme, man. He don't do the game plan. That's up to the coaches. But you can tell he want to win, though. But yeah, Green is relentless. He almost got to that quarterback. He laid a hit on him, though. He laid a hit on the quarterback, though. He did. Yeah, Solomon Craig. Well, we already know he a baller. We already know that. Let's go without saying. Yeah, Solomon Craig did his thing, didn't he? Even though Shiloh went down, I know we still had Solomon Craig and we had what's his name? Dude, what's his name came up too. Hold on one second. DJ McKinney. Yes, sir. DJ McKinney, man, he had a really good game. He played his ass off. And Carter Startmeyer, he came in. Carter Startmeyer played his ass off too. He sure did. So they have a lot of good it's a lot of good things to take away from the game. Man, he played his ass off. Solomon Craig, he sure did. And I don't care about that one play where they call him for pass interference. Bullshit, man. That wasn't pass interference, man. That was good. That was good defense. And he was covering somebody bigger than him. But that was good coverage. So I don't care about all that. Who else? Um, Jordan Seaton. Jordan Seaton did well. You got to go back and look at it. He was out there balling. Trying though. I mean, there was one play where he tried to pick up that blitz as well. He saw the blitz. So he tried to like cover both, but it's not much he can do there. But yeah, man, they got some ballers on this team, man. Damn, I didn't know Cash Cleveland 6'3", 300 pounds. He got the size on him. But I like how they put Anquin Barnes in because they needed size when what's the name went out. Yeah, Jimmy did. I did see some run blocks on him. He did. You said 67 was getting 2 killed. Well, they still have Tyler Johnson on the bench, so they can work him into the system if they need to, because he is 6'5", 325. So if they need a bigger body, they can also put him in at guard. Hill Green had 7 tackles. Mm. Yeah, the inside linebacker. He came in for Trevor Woods. I think he came into the game after Trevor went out. You talking about Hill Green? Hmm. And at the after halftime they were able to stop that scoring. So yeah, man, they got a lot to look forward to. Yeah, Seaton looked good yesterday. Now that sack that came from his end, that wasn't him. He already picked up a guy, and then that linebacker came over on the blitz. There was no tight end or anybody there or running back to stop Shador from getting hit. But Seaton is a bright spot. He is. And he's the lead. Listen, do you see how he was talking? Seaton is turning into a leader, man. The way he was talking out there. Yes, he is. He turned into a leader, man. No, Rock is good too, Autumn. Rock did good too. You got to go back and look at it. Yeah, they made some good halftime adjustments on the defense. That the defensive coordinator is really as good as advertised. He's doing his thing. And he lost Shiloh. Remember, Shiloh went out. So that was a big hit. But it was really next up mentality, like the person that was next up, he did his thing. You said Travis was irate. He was frustrated because there was some cases where he was wide open, but Shador couldn't get. I mean, the pocket closed down. What he gonna do? He got to brace for the hit. He was like he had a sea of red in his face. There was nothing he couldn't get the ball out. See, some people think that he holds on to the ball too long. That's not true. It's when you got these defenders, you got to figure if you got to protect the ball at this point because you're getting ready to get hit. And there was a couple plays where he did roll out and avoided the sack, and then he was trying to make adjustments to see who's open and bracing for the hit. It's very hard to do. But in the NFL, that would be corrected because he'll have max protection. They will have to put a line around him, and he'll be fine in the NFL. But here, he just got to make it there. That won't happen in the NFL, man. He will use his running backs and different things like that. He will adjust. You said Justin Mayers got ran over. Yeah, but Jordan is good, man. But it's just that what are you supposed to? I mean, if he got one assignment and then the linebackers blitz, there's really nothing he can do. Maybe we will see Tyler Johnson at some point at guard. We might see him. But Rock did his thing too. He was balling. But Zalink has had his work cut out for him. He had Agent Zero, and he, oh my God, he had his work cut out for him. He most certainly did. He was in a battle the whole freaking game, yo, because number 0 is crazy. So give him a little bit of leeway here. He was going up against a Cornhusker. Somebody said from the 1980s. So give him a little leeway now. But I would have liked, and in that case, If I saw that they were getting beat up on by Agent Zero, I probably would have put Tyler Johnson on them. Like, okay, now we bringing some beef on you now, sir. That's what we're gonna do. I would have to beef it up on them and maybe implemented Tyler Johnson. Because from the breakdown of video that I saw on him, he's actually really good. He's actually really, really good. So I would have had to put him in there because he's what is he 300 and let me see again how let me see. Yeah, he 6'5", 325. And Zach is 6'6", 375. So maybe I would have had to put the beef in. I would have had to switch it up and put the beef in. Because these Zach is 6'6", 375. You know what I'm saying? And Tyler Johnson is 325. I might have had to beef it up a little bit. Because let me see. Let me see how much Khalil weigh. Well, Justin Mayers is 320. He big enough. And Khalil is 305. But what's his name is 325. I probably would have had Zach is 375. I wouldn't have did nothing with Tyler. Tyler would have stayed where he was. Tyler Brown would have stayed where he was. He was doing good over there. I wouldn't have changed him. I probably would have put Savell Smalls next to him. Because Seaton was fine on his end. I would have put Savell Smalls next to Tyler Brown or Sam Hart. Well, Smalls is bigger than him. He's 6. Well, no, I don't know, way more, but not by much. Sam Hart is 6'5", 255. So just had a tight end over there. They maybe had a running back near Shador, and that would have been it. That would have been the max protection, and then just had the running back going to flat, and that would have been it. Shador would have been fine, and then that would have opened up for his his passing game. They only have to make a few tweaks, y'all. That's pretty much it. This wasn't like a blowout, like where they got totally just blown out. It wasn't a blowout. It's just that the coaches need to go back to the drawing board and realize that they're at fault. It's not the players. It's not the players this time that's at fault. It's the coaches. So they just got to tweak it. And I understand they probably like, yeah, it's how you practice and stuff, but you got to beef. You got to put beef on beef here. Since Agent Zero want to be doing it, he's out there spinning. I saw it too. He out there doing all type of spin moves, and I don't know what. He must have thought he was sapped the way he was acting. So I would have put some beef on him. Like, all right, this is what you want to do? Okay. Mr. NFL, because they say he going to the NFL. Mr. N. I would have put somebody big on Mr. NFL, or I would have doubled him. Yeah, it wasn't no blowout. You said against a good team, it would have been 53-3. You said Nebraska was just trying to end the game. You said it was just garbage points. Yeah, but if you see how the game was flowing, you knew what the problem was. You know what I'm saying? So even Matt Rule said it. You know, I'll take the win, but we know it's a lot that we got to work on. His quarterback only got one touchdown pass, and he barely got that because Bentley almost intercepted it. But yeah, man, I don't know how they can win being one dimensional. But I hope if they think that okay, you run the ball, you get stopped, you run the ball, get stopped. Don't abandon the run. Just do something different with the run. If you can't run up the middle, go on the sides, the flat. That's it. I just want to see him do a last minute dump off in the flat. Like he's back, he do his 3-step drop, the blitz come in, he just dump it off real quick, just to embarrass him and go for 15 yards, 20 yards. I like what Jimmy did yesterday on special teams. You know, he almost ran one back. So that was a positive there. He almost ran one back there. He did good. They just couldn't get him open, you know, get him going at wide receiver. But this probably is a game where they can just go back and say, you know what, we do got to change our philosophy here. We can't be one-dimensional, coach. That's what they got to say. We can't do it. We're not going to win. So I think they'll probably do all they can now to get these running backs in the game. I honestly do. They're going to have to. And that's my takeaway from it, folks. I'm not a hater. Because I'm not a hater. I don't know him like that to hate on him. So I'm just telling you, I'm not a hater. I just call it how I see it. And Shannon went crazy. He's like, I told you they can't do that. You know how Shannon is. Shannon off the hook. They ain't got a line. They can't do this. They do have a line. They do. You just gotta switch it up. They do got a line. So yeah, man. I just hope that you know, they get it going. Because, you know, you said Shannon 100. You said Prime and Company did all this talking. No, they can still do the talking, but just mix it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Just mix it up. That's it. So next week, I do expect them to win that game. I'm just letting y'all know this. I expect them to beat Colorado State. Okay. As long as they yeah, Rock and Seaton did fine. They did fine, man. If you go back and look, just look at Rock a little bit. He wasn't struggling. He didn't have too many plays where he was struggling. At all, I don't think. He was just blocking his man. That was it. He just had a quiet game. He was just doing his assignment. But it's nothing you can do when you one dimensional, man. Because at that level, people tell me at that level they can figure you out real quickly. So you got to do something different. So that's what they tell me. But anyway, guys, I'll be back. But I'm pretty sure people are gonna be making a lot of videos on it because that's the talk right now. But this is opening up for those websites to start hating. But if people know football, like really know football, they know it's only one adjustment to be made. They know that. But you know, this is opportunity for them to now really hate now. But I'm telling you, this only one adjustment they got to make. Everything else is clicking. Real football people know that. They know that. So it's just a matter of is the coach is going to do it or not. But anyway, I'll catch you guys later. I'll be back. I'm just going to go live. I don't feel like doing uploads, but I'll be back. All right, y'all.